Is that your Xbox 360 lamp in the background, Dave?
It is.
Buddy.
All right, everybody, here we go.
What the heck? Oh!
Yep, we're live now.
Grr!
All right,
I didn't realize my sound is up that loud.
this is Nerds of the Round Table. We're going to be discussing negative media opinion of gamers as a whole and in general, and a lot of the misconceptions about us. We got Rick, our resident tactician. We got James, our Gator fan. Dave, our Doctor Who fan, and our guest tonight is Brittany. Has her own Twitch channel. You want to go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself, Britt?
Okay, I am a gamer and cosplayer. I am known on the internet as Advancing Wall of Doom. Let's see. Advancing Wall of Doom, I spend much time on Twitch. I like to play horror games a lot. I actually just got done playing a little bit of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. What else?
I have to say that they are a blast to watch because I feel like I'm watching a scary movie, you know. But someone else is playing the part. They're so addicting to watch. So
those
Well,
are some of the
back
better
then-
games to actually see people play because there's a little bit of interactivity for the person watching. It's not so much like watching somebody play through Metroid or something where
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot of for you to be invested in it other than CNC.
Yeah, I feel like I know I myself I really enjoy watching people play scary games because I feel like you see a lot more authentic reactions. A lot of Let's Players and Twitchers sort of like I'm not saying I don't do this, but they kind of like make their reactions to things bigger than what they actually are. And with Five Nights at Freddy's, for example, something jumps out at you, and it's pretty unlikely that you're expecting it.
Well, I think the best part about it is it's not like it's like blood and guts. It's just some creepy ass teddy bear just
Yes.
with creepy eyes. Yeah.
And I would have never bumped into the game had it not been for the kids watching PewDiePie play it.
I think I found it through Markiplier.
James was playing until
Dawn.
Oh,
That was pretty fun to watch.
I really
Yeah,
want to play
that was
that.
the main reason why I pre-ordered PlayStation VR, because they were talking about, it's going to be first release game, and now they pulled back, and I'm not even sure if they're going to release a second one for it, but the Resident Evil 7 demo, I don't know if any of you got an opportunity to play it, but it came out on PlayStation 4, and it doesn't feel like a Resident Evil game at all. It feels like it feels like a Saw movie is what it feels like.
Nice.
And you the whole first level is you have to find this videotape in this old creepy house. Of course, you put the videotape in, and it's people that was in the same position you are. And then you see a secret passage, and you go in there expecting to see the worst, and there's nothing there. So it's like, oh, phew, I can get out of here, and then it's just the craziness starts. So they give you the Resident Evil jump scare that you had in like the first couple, but it's going to be amazing.
So on the topic, I was gonna say just to bring up something, just to give you guys your brains thinking about and all, but like, what do you think about when people say that there should be like an age range for gamers? I mean, it sounds completely silly, but I just want to throw it out there.
Well,
I mean, I think
an
Gary's way
age
too old to
range.
be playing Minecraft. I've thought that for a good 2 years, but
That's fantastic.
I like creative games like that. I mean, that's why I play with like Unity and a lot of game engines. That's why I did indie development. I like to build stuff, and that's like the perfect game for me because you can build anything you want. The rules are yours to define, and there's not a whole lot of games that offer that. As far as like the amount of interactivity is, if you want to change the rules and make it an all-out war and everybody that's in there picks sides and beats up everybody, you can do that. If you want everybody to build a big building, you can build that. Hell, I sat down one evening and built, like, from East Book 1 and 2, I built the entire darn tower.
Aren't they making like a standalone sort of deathmatch version or something?
Yeah, it's already out. I played it a little bit. It's basically set up like Hunger Games. You Everybody has to wait for a few moments, then you take off at the bell, you run, grab goodies out of the chest, use what you got, fight the other players. But you can also coordinate with them and say, "Hey, I'll help you," and then we can duke it out at the end or whatever. So I usually bold at the beginning, let them fight it out and thin the herd.
Tactics.
Always,
That
always.
sounds fun.
It actually is a lot of fun. I was really surprised. I figured it would just be like any other kind of deathmatch setup where everybody's against everybody, but there's a lot of people working with and against each other the whole time. And it shifts quickly, like in the span of one kill going down, they'll turn on you, and then somebody else will jump in and help you, and then you're helping them, and then there's just two left, and it's a duke out.
So what's anybody think about any gamers? I mean, like we're playing at our current ages, and I don't feel that we're ever going to stop for any reason just because we get older. We
Well,
we enjoy them, we love them. Why should we, right? So
well, look at
what do you?
Dad. Look at
Uh,
Dad. He's
Perfect
what?
example.
He's almost what, mid 60s,
Uh
and
huh.
here he is playing Guild Wars 2 religiously every night.
And if you look, he's actually one of the best players listed.
Yeah, yeah, he's one of the top players, and he's running a damn guild.
Very
Man,
true.
that's impressive.
Oh,
Uh,
he's
he's like the damn
incredible.
Godfather on there. When he walks in, people are like, "Hey, can you help me with this?"
Yeah, the funny thing is like if you do go to town, everybody knows him there, and they start chatting to him. But
I mean
yeah,
that's kind of a goal. When I'm 60, I hope that's what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, to
so
be
true.
able to have enough reflexes and eyesight left to be able to actually be good enough that people are like, "Hey, there he is."
If we actually had him streaming, I think because he streams anywhere from 8, 10, 12, 15 hours a day, and then he sleeps for like 4 and then gets back up and starts playing immediately, I think people would probably come and watch him because he's on most of the
Right.
24-hour period.
Well, that and he's so
And we're
damn
talking
good
about
at it.
24/7 too. We're talking every day he is on.
We just have to get him. Absolutely have to get him with the mic on because you got to hear him get mad at it.
Oh
Cheating son
my.
of a bitch. That's bullshit.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I'm 33 now, and I remember when my mom's like, "When are you gonna stop playing games? When are you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I was like, "Oh, like probably in my 20s, I'll just give up, do
right.
something
When
else."
they quit making them, how's that
Right.
transition?
But then
My hands.
again, back to it, what age should you be playing certain games? I mean, right when Mortal Kombat 1 came out, I got it, and it was never even really a question. It was just like, "Hey, here's a game."
Yeah, and yeah, I got to say that the one thing that irks me the most when I hear a lot of news media input as to the behaviors of gamers as a whole, like when they pigeonhole us with that 2% of trolls that run around raising hell and making things rough for everybody. Um, the thing that I hate the most is they depict all of us as 650 pounds in a motorized wheelchair And the only thing we do is eat Doritos, drink Mountain Dew, and play Call of Duty in mom's basement. And we don't own a home, we don't work a job, and that's not true for anybody that's present.
I think did any of you all watch the South Park episode on World of Warcraft?
Oh
Absolutely.
Yes.
yeah.
Where they
Yeah.
killed for one EXP for like days on end.
Yeah.
They just went and killed those one creatures with one EXP. Just,
Right.
I think South Park successfully portrayed the the evil guy that was going around killing everyone.
Yeah.
mhm.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah.
is what
That's what
I
everybody.
guess
thinks
society pictures as this is a gamer.
It's so
Um,
true.
And I know that South Park realizes, oh yeah, this is not how people actually are.
Right.
But because this is how they're seen as, I think they did a good job at designing that.
I don't think the media realizes too that people that play games are in a wide variety of jobs. Like
Yeah.
by definition, you're an archaeologist. David, he's in IT. James, I can't remember what James does.
Me either.
Rick's
James-
kind of he went to school there so long he works for him now.
Pretty much.
But we all have careers and jobs and families, and we do stuff all day long. And we still play games, but it's not
Mhm.
like the way they portray it, even remotely.
Well, let me ask you this now: do you think that society as a whole sees us that way, or do you think it's just media that sees us that way?
I think it's media in general that sees us that way because society as a whole, according to the numbers, is playing games. So they know that's not true.
However, in saying that, I think there are still a lot of people who don't want to be in the genre or or field saying you're a true gamer, and they do play games at home, but they don't really talk about it. It sounds completely ridiculous.
And
But
Actually, I feel like I
think-
work with a few of those people. Like they totally play video games,
yeah,
but they won't tell me, "Oh, I'm
No.
a gamer," even though they spend all of their free time playing video games.
yeah,
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like everyone has that aunt that still plays Farmville, that still does that,
yeah.
or Candy Crush. They play it on their phone, but oh, I don't play games.
I can't.
that's a really good one too. It's true. They say they don't play games, but yet they play the ones on the sort of a flash game. You're like, come on now.
And
David,
that qualifies.
I gave Garrett my old Lumia phone. I gave that to him to just, kind of see how he would treat a phone if he owned one and stuff. And I went in his room the other night and I was like, what is that noise? And I opened up the door and he's in there playing Farmville 2 on it. I'm like,
Hey,
I was never so happy the first time he picked up Halo and he was like, oh, wow, this is the bomb. And then just started playing it because his birthday is the release date of Halo 3.
Oh
He-
man.
Yeah, because David shot me a text and I was like, dude, I can't play. I'm at the hospital.
but I absolutely. I guess another thing is somebody was saying that we're the people sitting on the couch and eating and not doing anything. I go and I work out every day or 5 days a week. I go to CrossFit, and I've met a few of those guys after being there for 3 years that I finally said, "Yeah, I'll play video games," and they're like, "I was like, oh yeah, okay," and so I got one of them to
This just
add
in.
me on Xbox Live. Yeah, I'm like a news headline.
It was ESPN, as you were.
But yeah, no, he added me on Xbox Live. He never talks about it to anyone in front of other people at CrossFit because he's all about being ripped and buff and thinks it's just such a negative thing. I don't know. It's completely silly.
Why can't both exist within the same sphere? That
I
should be
don't know.
okay.
I mean, that's part of the conversation here.
It was,
Yeah.
but Xbox Fitness just got canceled.
Oh, well.
I
Alert
think
for you.
for a lot of people, it's kind of still like a taboo topic because I know a lot of girls when I was growing up, they were kind of shamed if they played games, whereas it was okay for guys to play them. It seemed like the girls caught a lot of hell for it.
How about the fact that maybe some people that are parents and stuff now would say that the kids play too much games or something, but yet they're the ones that grew up playing Pac-Man.
Well, there was at one time they were saying, well, TV will rot your brain, and then before that it was like them damn movies, and before that it was that damn vaudeville. There's always something that the parents are going to not like that's a new
Yeah.
item that's
How
strange
old
and
are you,
foreign.
Gary? My goodness.
Hey,
I have been listening to
I
a
don't-
podcast.
I don't care what you say. Duck soup is funny.
Oh my god.
I've been listening to this podcast about. There's two different ones. One is the psychology of video games, but I think the one that I'm thinking of right now is the history and development of video games, which is like a 4 or 5 part series. I'm only halfway through it.
Literally showed up on there. Don't bother. Keep going.
Oh, sorry. I just saw a light flash. I was like, what?
The wife is turning on the strobe light. Yeah, I know. I'll be wondering.
I was saying,
You were listening to a podcast.
history of video games. So they on one of the episodes they were talking about. I believe this is made in Australia, but they were talking about how in the late 70s and early 80s, these are dangerous arcades started popping up, and how everyone, like the parents, believed it was rotting the kids' brains, and it was just such a dangerous place to be. Which, I don't know, it's a place where a bunch of like 14, 15, 16-year-olds go to hang out.
I think
And
David.
it was really interesting.
I think
I
David
recommend it.
remembers. We used to watch shows, or well, some of our parents would watch shows where they were taking like, Styx albums and Black Sabbath albums, and they were throwing them in bonfires and burning them. So there's always something parents are gonna
Yeah.
hate.
Oh, you guys remember, I don't know if you all remember this, but back in I think it was early 2000s? Was it that long ago? The whole ordeal with Pokemon.
Yes.
Let's burn the Pokemon cards. They're evil.
Yeah.
Evil.
When I was a kid, it was Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh,
Right.
Oops, dated myself.
Right. Right.
Would you guys say that that gamers themselves? I personally think this, but I don't really want to say that it absolutely was invented from that. But gamers invented the word noob. Now,
Yes.
it is absolutely used in all kinds of environments now. I mean, a noob would typically mean a new person at the video game, but now, Gary's background.
That's the girls back there.
A noob, now has be all kinds of version. But would you say that gamers really invented the word noob?
Well,
I
yeah.
would
Oh.
agree with that.
They might have. At the very least, they invented our current connotations with the word and a new spelling because the internet.
Right.
NEWB.
Leet.
Noob.
Yeah, it's like we took it and reappropriated it for our uses, and then okay, and then the rest of society reappropriated it back.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they absolutely
They
did, Rick. They
Yeah, you trade it back and forth.
into that because they knew what the meaning meant, so they used it in different areas. Work or anything for that matter.
That's just geek culture seeping into mainstream again.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks a little chaotic over there at Gary's.
Well,
Always is.
Rhiannon's got a friend over, and they're kind of standing here off to the side watching. I think Trace got lost.
I think it did too.
I shall
You know,
annoy him.
So games themselves are listed. At some point 5 or 10 years ago, they started having a rating system, a maturity level and stuff. because of how violent some games can be, and then
Mid-90s.
how many the cuss words are in some of them.
Night
Well,
Trap.
I don't have a problem with them having like ratings set up and saying, okay, if you're below this age, you probably ought not let your child see this, or if level to this level to teenage. I have no problem with the ratings on those.
Does that have like a definition of saying that gaming is immature to the level if you're playing ones that are below? I wonder what you thought about age versus.
All those are saying is,
Uh,
content at this point is going to change to a more mature topic than what below this level would be normally you would want them exposed to. Like I wouldn't let Rebecca play Resident Evil.
What about Manhunt or Manhunt 2?
Well, I mean, Gears
Probably
of War
not.
is fine.
Like those are the games like condemned. Like those are the games that kids shouldn't play. But I don't know. I feel like the last couple of Resident Evils. I don't know. I mean, you're fighting monsters. It's not like you're going up and ripping someone's face off. I mean, it's
Yeah.
James, what was the game you played on the original Xbox that was like you were in like this crazy mental hospital jail and
The Suffering. I think
the Suffering, and there was like
God.
man-on-man raping.
Yes,
and,
it was the most ridiculous crazy.
Yeah, they never made a second one. I don't know why.
Yeah, go figure.
It was a one and done, but.
With things like that, to me, it feels like people's purchasing power will control how crazy they go with certain things like that. If it's not a good subject or topic that they played with in it, then just don't buy the damn game, and that keeps them from making another, because that's really what fuels the whole gaming industry. They keep pumping out Call of Duties. They're the worst game I've ever played. I hate Call of Duty. I know a lot of people will
Oh my
disagree.
goodness.
All right,
A lot of
Brittany
people
has
man.
something to say about that.
But it's okay. I mean, they keep pumping them out because people keep buying them. But the same people that keep buying them keep bitching about how the game is. But they keep buying it, so they keep making them.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, if you don't like it, don't buy the damn thing.
I've told non-gamers before that I'm a gamer, and multiple times I was asked, "Oh, do you play Call of Duty?"
I mean, that is.
No,
Yes, that's
not
the first thing that non-gamers think of. The first thing that comes in their brain is Call of Duty because it's been embedded into the world.
Well,
So-
you gotta.
All right. I mean, I like them. I've
James,
That's okay.
already pre-ordered it.
I already pre-ordered the next
Yes.
one. But,
Well,
but
we all
here's
have
my
our
reason
secret
why.
indulgences.
Hey, and
No, my block simulators. There's nothing around that. But
despite all that,
my thing with them is it's like they're fun, they're fast, and they're easy. I found out if I avoid PC, then I don't have to worry about as many bots and stuff like that. But it's just like it's kind of like playing like Madden for me. Like I can play it, it's fun for a minute, but if I have to quit in the middle of the game, I really don't care.
yeah,
It's like
there's not a lot of commitment.
I can watch a movie on one screen and play it, and
Now,
I don't need.
And you do that a lot.
I
do
was
that a
can get
kind of
behind that.
surprised after I saw the newest Call of Duty's trailer. It was the first one in the line since World at War that I actually wanted to go buy. And I was like, wow, they really pulled out all the stops here. And then I started reading like all the comments on YouTube, and I was like, holy crap, people really don't like this.
Oh yeah, I mean everything on every E3 stream was RIP Call of Duty. It was like it'd be something completely random, and the chat would just blow up RIP Call of Duty every time they said anything of the new game. So.
And I don't really get it. They bitched for something different. They delivered on something different, and now they're going to bitch that it's different.
Brittany, you're excited to say that you're a gamer and all. What do you think of the percentage of females in the last, say, 10 years with consoles or PC gaming or anything, or especially Twitch streaming, has switched over to females being okay with saying they're a gamer? Too many questions there?
That is a surprisingly complicated question. Well, I don't know.
just
I feel
go
like
with
a
it.
lot of people in the internet, or at least in the media, like they don't like to say, or they don't like to talk about female gamers. But they have existed for a very long time.
True.
And actually, like, I've done this myself, like in World of Warcraft. I have played and not admitted that I was female because I would get shit from people who are
Well, I mean,
like, oh, you play like a girl. Ugh.
God.
So that doesn't exactly help with the
Yeah.
wanting to come out and say, oh, I'm a female gamer.
Are you trying to say that the media says that girl gamers aren't as good as guys? Is that what it is?
I
mean-
don't know about the media. At least, like, stupid 14-year-old boys, yes.
Yeah, really.
But I don't know. Maybe the media isn't quite as I'm forgetting words. Deep into gaming, so they don't really understand. I do think it's a good thing though for that women or more women are at least admitting that they play games.
That's probably a good point. Yeah.
Well, isn't the split half now? Half of all gamers are women now?
No kidding.
I thought I saw that somewhere,
It
I
was
would
That's
say
a high
probably
including
true.
percentage.
hard
including
result.
casual gaming.
Yeah,
With the
yeah,
mobile
that's probably true. They claim that women are more likely to play casual games, but also the study that I saw, they were more likely to lump like Call of Duty into the hardcore gaming category, which I think really if you are spending excessive that may not be right, lots of time playing a
Excessive
game.
whatever.
Maybe you could be considered a hardcore gamer. Maybe.
Level of commitment.
But maybe if all you're playing is Candy Crush, I don't know. I don't know.
Half of
Oh.
America's work toilets is definitely an arcade now because of it. Candy Crush, Farmville.
Oh.
I watch a
We love
stream
those.
from a couple of people from they're somewhere in Europe, but it's a husband and wife, and they stream DayZ, and they have it set up so you can either watch his stream or her stream, and
That's
it's
cool.
it's really cool because like it's not like a lot of streamers where it's like, hey, we're focused 24/7 on the game. This is what we're going to do next. Like they're actually having a conversation. Like it's very cool how they interact together.
It's
And
it's more organic.
absolutely, it's like half the time you could care less about what game they're playing. It's just they're carrying on a good
Right.
conversation while playing the game.
Banter. Yeah.
I've got
Yeah,
a question I
the
wanted to throw out there for everybody to kind of ponder on. What defines a gamer?
Oh.
Does just playing Candy Crush qualify you as as being able to say, yeah, I'm a gamer? To me, I say yes. If you play a game, you're a gamer.
No, I say no because I think you need to. The word gamer sounds like multiple, so you have to branch out. Like you have to play more than one game to be to me to be a gamer. Though some of those people that find that one game that they typically would never play anything, but they found that one they like and they stick with it on their phone. I don't know, I guess, but I would.
I think if it has microtransactions and that's all you play, you're not a gamer. You're just addicted to something. Like if all you play is Simpsons Tapped Out or stuff like that, like that's all you play, and you spend money on it, you're not a gamer. You need a hobby.
So
Like, you need to
Well,
kill
let me-
time.
well, let me throw this out there. So maybe we're talking about the difference between casual gamers and the hardcore gamers, but they're still under the umbrella of gamer. Does that
Well, I mean,
work?
you could say Magic the Gathering card games.
Yeah.
You could say like Dungeons and Dragons, like they're gamers.
I guess we could switch it to video gamers comparison to other genres of
I
gamers.
feel like if you are allotting time out of your day to play a game, rather than,
Makes
Like
sense.
actually
basically
making
kind of like
time.
what we said. If you're like sitting in a waiting room, you're bored. Oh, I'm gonna play Candy Crush or whatever occasionally. Like, no. Like if I feel like you need to be allotting time out of your life to play. Like, oh yeah, I could be doing these other things, but I'm playing a video game.
Agreed.
That-
But yeah, I think there is kind of a thing between a fine line between a casual and hardcore gamer, medium core gamers.
Right.
I kind of classify myself as that
As the medium,
because
I
I
do.
I
Yeah,
play
absolutely.
probably 3 to 5 hours a day, but I don't have a set game where like this is all I'm gonna play. I'm stuck on this. I'll play a game, till I get to a certain point, or if it's a certain game that I can come back to. But I'm always bouncing around. I've yet to find the single game that I'm like I have to come home and play for 10 hours.
Mm.
Now I'm like you as far as like having different games that I'll play, but I obsess about certain games. Like if I'm wanting to do something like build something in Minecraft, I'll obsess and build on that for days. And then all of a sudden I'll out of the blue start playing Forza and driving, or switch over and play Gears, or go over and play something completely different. And I'm constantly bouncing around. But sometimes I'll get really obsessed on doing like a particular achievement or something, and I'll hang on that game until that's done.
So, what do you think about people who make a living off of gaming? There's both a TV show called E League. If you guys hadn't seen it, it was on last night on TV, and that's people who just go around playing competition and to win money. And then there's the other people who they Twitch
Awesome.
stream and they have so many followers that they can live off the money they make off of being having subscribers.
I say bravo. I really do. I think it's awesome.
I I feel bad for them in a way. Like, not only are they like they're literally spending all their time on there, but if they like, what, I've played for 70 hours this week, I'm going to take a day off, or I'm going to go on vacation. That they have to keep that in consideration. Like, they're going to lose subscribers if they're not there. This is how they live. This is how they make money.
Right.
Um, it's like you're gone a couple of days or you're gone a week, and someone's used to sitting and watching you.
Brittany,
Um,
you sound like a normal Twitch streamer. I mean, how often do you a week? And then if you do it in one sitting, how many hours?
Um, well, for a while I've been really bad about consistently streaming. But generally I'll stream anywhere between once and 3, maybe 4 times a week.
Okay.
If I'm if I have a bedtime on that particular day, I'll usually play for maybe about 2 or 3 hours. If it's say like a Saturday, um, I'll probably play for somewhere around 4 or 5 hours. Uh, see, I'm trying to remember when a while back I had to stream for like 6 hours. I think I started at like 8 or 9 in the evening. Hold on, math. Four. Oh,
Carry
it was probably
two.
around 9. Maybe make myself feel a little bit better.
Times pi. It's not that complicated. Don't worry too much about it. I
I
was just
think,
kind of getting a general idea
yeah.
because you said, I mean, that's actually quite often. I have my own Twitch channel, but I mean, I don't get on there a lot. I don't know. I mean, technically, any of us could get on there, even if you didn't want to be on camera, and just stream whatever the heck you're playing. But
Yeah,
people don't.
I've found a few people who do that, but those like the people who don't really, you really have to be good at your game to not
To
really
keep
interact with
followers.
people on there and
Oh,
to keep followers. Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
It in order to like get followers and keep them, it helps to like have that video camera there and to interact with people. So it's very much a social thing, but it does impress people if you're very good. Like there's a couple people that all they do is
Multitask.
play, but they're playing like StarCraft and they're like masters. Oh my god.
And then also somehow they're still reading occasionally
Hmm.
into the chat and they're responding to people verbally. It's amazing. Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, like I said, I I think I really just started my Twitch about a year ago. Before then, I would watch people, but I never, of
Absolutely.
course,
I do too.
got on there. And I've really only recently started consistently streaming. So since I've started doing that, my number of followers has actually increased a fair amount, surprisingly.
Yeah, do you guys have a set list of people that you follow and you watch daily or anything like that?
I do. There's a couple of people that I prefer to like, whether it's YouTube or Twitch, that I'll go in and watch because it's games that I like, or games I want to see how somebody else's approach is to it. I mean, it's not really like a fanboy thing. It's just that they're really good at kind of explaining what they're doing, what's coming up, and trying to help show you new things.
uh, I I have people that I watch on YouTube, and then people I watch. Well, I don't know if the. Are we talking about like streamers or just overall gamers online?
Streamers, like certain
Like-
streamers.
Okay,
like
that's
okay,
fine.
I subscribe to two different channels. One is the Attack, which is pretty much Attack of the Show from the G4 days. They've got it, and they have 3 or 4 days a week they'll put on a kind of a variety show, and they'll talk about games and stuff like that. But there's a couple of gamers, a couple of sports gamers that I follow all the time, and I watch whenever they come on.
I'm trying to remember who in the heck I follow.
You're looking it up right now. That's awesome.
Just
I am.
Blondie Wandy. I don't know if anyone follows her.
Blondie number 5.
James gave me her thing I looked at yesterday. So, speaking of, I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, would you say that that these people that say they play and they have massive followers and in the thousands and they play for 12, 15, 18 hours a day and sleep for a few, and would you say they're like obsessed or addicted? I mean, or would you just say, I mean, it's something they love and seem to enjoy doing, and that's not a bad thing.
Dave, honestly, to me, it sounds like us whenever we were working at Big Bear.
It's true.
I mean, we went to work for hours on end. We got off work. We watched a couple anime shows, dove into Doom or Quake or something like that, Star Wars Rebellion or Dark Forces, and
Showing our
then
ages again.
slept for 20 minutes, ran to Taco Bell, grabbed some new animes for the next day, went to work, and rinse and repeat. And we did that for forever, just that constant diet of geek culture. So,
Well, if that's their livelihood, then that I don't think that's an excessive amount at all. I mean, that's who they are. That's how they make a living. So
yeah.
that's not
I-
obsessive.
I actually think it might be probably the best thing that's happened to some of these people. They're like, hey, I like to play games 15 hours. Now I can stream to people and people talk to me. It's fun. I like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Meet new people and
Make
find,
contact.
find new trolls.
It's
Yeah, there's that.
There's one lady that I follow. Let me find her name here. I think it's Miss Diverse. I think that may be her. No, it's Lipstick Legend.
What a name.
She used to be a airline hostess, or is that what they call them now?
Flight attendant.
Flight attendant, yes. She used to be a flight attendant, and then she was like, I really hate my job. And she used to kind of sometimes stream on Twitch, so I guess she had a fair amount of followers. But she was like, I really hate my job, so she left her job.
That's awesome.
And she just left and decided to stream full time, and apparently she's doing pretty well. Sometimes she'll stream in cosplay, so I think that helps.
Oh, that's very cool.
Right.
That's super
It doesn't
cool.
hurt.
Dresses up as cosplay and streams. That's pretty cool. She was gonna say something about that.
She's on a fair amount of time during the week. I haven't counted like quite how long she's on and what days. I know that a lot of times though I'll get on Twitch and she's on. So
I think the fun thing too is about some of the streamers is that if they're playing a multiplayer game, it's kind of fun to get have their stream going on if everybody has dual monitors. I'll have the stream going on one side, and I'll actually try to get in the game with them. And I say
I've done that on DayZ. They'll
it's
be
so
stupid
fun.
enough. They'll be stupid enough to tell what server they're on. And I'll know where they're at in the map, and I'll wait for them to come around. Oh yeah, it's dirty, but it's fun.
It's completely blast. It's completely blast. Even if you're on a team with them, I just think I don't know. It's silly fun. I don't know why I like it, but I completely love the fact that you see someone that has 1,000 followers, and you're like, I'm gonna get in the game with them and just play and stuff. It seems fun.
I think it kind of harkens back to watching the other guy's screen when we were LAN partying in the dining room.
Well, LAN partying itself is fun because we're all in the same sort of talking. Are you making a drink?
That's why he's got it muted. He don't want to hear what's getting poured.
Well, see, and I think this is really the difference between the audience that lives on the internet and then mainstream media. Mainstream media has this image that even though we've shed it a long time ago, that's the only image they will ever know. It's what they're comfortable with. But those of us that care, we're all here on the internet. We're not watching the mainstream media really that much. And I think those of us on here don't have that stereotypical image of what it means to be a gamer.
I think Rick's kind of barking up the right tree because it's like the mainstream media is trying so hard to be relevant anymore because they are so out of touch with who actually demands and creates ratings for them that the only thing they can do is take and make stabs to try to draw attention to them. And then when they do, a bunch of people watch and go, "You're an asshole."
Right. The internet shames you.
But it gets them ratings.
Right.
So
Yep.
it's kind of a shameless attempt to drum up sales, so to speak, but they do that. I've noticed them do that a lot. And the thing that bugs me the most is the way they kind of portray us as bigoted and stuff like that. And yeah, you'll bump into those Call of Duty matches where somebody's dropping the M bomb every 5 seconds, or they're dropping a lot of explicatives or what have you, but I've walked through the streets of Huntington and heard the same stuff.
Right.
It's not necessarily gamer oriented.
Right.
That's just
It
a
exists
bad attitude.
Yeah, that exists in all facets. It's not just gaming that happens in.
And I've heard some of the girls be just as foul with some of that stuff as any of the guys. Flat out.
No, Gary, those are
Yes.
13-year-old boys. Those aren't girls.
Okay. Couldn't tell.
Totally.
Couldn't
They
tell.
just sound like girls.
They'll never know.
Right.
What do you think about the fact that people who are actually really hard workers at whatever their life job is, and they consider coming home to play video games, whether it's Halo, killing other people, and they find that as their relaxed time?
Nothing wrong with that.
Well,
Some of us do it at work.
Some of us aren't that lucky. I've got a friend, Josh, and he's been playing since, before, like us. He started with the old stuff all the way up to now. And he plays religiously. I see him come on as soon as the workday is over, and just a few hours before 11, you'll see him go offline or go into YouTube or Netflix. So he's just watching something and falling asleep. But he does that ritual every day. But he's an architect or a engineer. He does CAD as a living, and he's really damn good at it. But when he comes home, that's what he does. He just kicks back and chainsaws the hell out of people.
No, I mean, you guys, that was Ice-T. He always talks about that he loves the Halo genre. He's played every one of those, and he's a huge player and talks about it. That he works his job, and then that's one of his favorite things to do when he gets home.
Speaking of Ice-T, have you guys saw the Rick and Morty episode with
No,
Ice-T?
no.
Saw
No.
that? Oh, that's the best one.
Oh.
Can only imagine.
It's I can't even explain it. It's just so amazing.
Right.
You just need to
We'll have to
look
look it up. Yeah. Well, what about those of us who work, IT professionally? We're on computers for 8 hours, during the workday, and then come home and spend another 8 hours if we can on the computer afterward.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
That's
like,
just the way we relax. I mean, that's where we feel. I guess at home would be the way to describe it, but I mean, it's where we get our entertainment and our business from.
Well, I mean, for me, it's like I'll work, I'll do my thing, and then always between 5 and 7, I either go to the gym or I go and do something. But normally after 7, like I'm back on the computer. I'm either gaming or just being on the computer until I'm ready to go to sleep. I mean, watching TV is something that watching TV is once a week, and that just might be catching up on DVR stuff or a certain program. But it's just like,
Well, when the internet goes down.
I got a kooky question for you guys. How many
Let's
of you
go.
actually watch cable TV anymore?
um, as of right now,
live or
there's
DVR?
Live. I mean, actually wait for it.
Live, very rarely, but
no,
DVR,
nothing.
we DVR a ton of
Sports,
shows.
occasionally sports, but that's it. Without sports, I think cable's pointless. There's Netflix, Hulu, other ways to get the new shows that are out. So I mean,
Legal and illegal.
but one thing that I think is going to happen, and it does worry me. It worries me that the whole streaming thing. It seems pretty cheap right now. Like you can get. I actually just got an email saying Netflix is going up or something for a couple of dollars or something. But I mean, Netflix, Hulu, those are I think $10, under $10. But I think eventually it's going to get to the point where instead of paying 150 for cable, they're going to start bundling stuff together. Like, hey, if you want Netflix, you're also going to have to get this and this. So instead of it being $10, it's going to be $40 to get the streaming stuff you want. I think they're eventually going to catch on and realize that, hey, no one's watching TV anymore, so Netflix is going to have to buy up another little company, or maybe Crunchyroll will combine with someone, or smaller ones like that, and it's just going to get to the point where in 10 years, I think that cable will kind of be like the home phone. Some people have it, the majority of the people don't. But the prices are back to the same. I just don't see the media business losing the money.
I got to be honest, if the Flash and Arrow and some of those shows weren't on regular TV, I probably wouldn't even think about it. I mean, I actually don't have it. I'll wait for it to hit Netflix to watch it.
And I mean, for news-wise, I get all my news on Reddit. I don't need to watch a news broadcast to see some terrible anchor.
Right.
I'd rather watch a streamer play a game or give me
Right.
news that way.
Right.
But
That's what we know.
Look at that guy that just joined there.
Whoa,
Oh.
it's another person.
Our
Only-
latecomer.
50 minutes of time.
Gasp.
That's the man that loves Batman so much that it's borderline creepy.
does he have shark repellent? Is that how much he loves Batman?
Oh yes.
I saw the Batmobile today.
I did. I saw that photo. It was the American flag one.
Yeah, he had it on the back of his car.
You can tell by the look on Trace's face, he's going, that son of a bitch is saying something bad about me.
Hey, you got some juggalos in your place, Gary? What's with the soda I see there?
Juggalos.
Is that some Fago soda you had? I haven't seen that in years.
They were in town actually just the other last month. I think they played at the V Club.
I heard. I had a
That's
friend
awesome.
who went.
Oh my
Magnus, how
God,
did
this
they
thing's
go?
got a combination lock on it. Here you go.
There
He
was
said, my friend said that they got showered with either grape or orange Fago.
Nice.
Nice.
Well,
I'll never understand it, but whatever. More power to them.
Yeah.
So
Hey.
back on topic.
You asked earlier, Rick, maybe it was David that asked what you thought what age range did you think gamers were applicable to? And
Okay.
I don't think there is an age range.
There isn't.
There shouldn't be. I'm just
No.
saying, it seems like the people are like, won't you grow out of this? And you're like, no, not really.
I mean,
Do
in the
you grow
beginning,
out of The Sopranos?
well, I mean, well, here's what
That's
I
like
think
growing out of the
has
mafia.
happened with that. And when gaming first started emerging, people saw it as just a toy for the kids.
Yeah.
And now it's evolved into something to much more than that. But many people, especially Gen Xers, we're split. Half of us are very much into the gaming culture, while the other half still hold on to their parents' ideas that video games are just a toy. So
And the bad part is it's evolved into a media like television or movies, except for you control some of the outcomes. They give you an illusion of control because it's a lot of games are still linear, even when they say they're sandbox. There's still a beginning, a middle, and an end that can't be avoided. And you know that gives you something new that TV and movies will never be able to duplicate. And I think that's what draws a lot of new people to gaming in general is that it's a movie you can control. Some of these have better acting in it than the what the new Ghostbusters looks like it has.
Oh
it's
God,
not
don't get me
it's
started
not
on that.
it's not so much like it's a movie, but it's you get to control like another life. You have complete control over that particular character, especially if it's in an open world game or whatever.
I guess
I
a
think
better
that is
way
very attractive.
I guess a better way to phrase it would be like taking part in a novel or something where the story has a lot of substance to it. Like you got games like The Witcher and The Last of Us and what's the other one on the PlayStation? Uncharted. Those all have exquisite stories and are
Hmm.
very well written. And
Yeah,
honest and in all sincerity, Hollywood's been dropping a ball on good movies for quite a while, and it's no surprise to me that has kind of taken the place of what Hollywood once did. I mean, look at how much money video games makes on a yearly average.
it makes more than the movie industry now.
And so I think the numbers kind of speak for itself.
Well, what did I see that Grand Theft Auto in January is the first game to ever be the best-selling game 3 years in a row for the month of January. I mean, it was on the 360 and
People love
Xbox
that
One,
game.
and yeah, and they keep putting out more
It's
content for it, and it's still the top-selling game of the month 3 years in a row. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
And,
like Dark Side of the Moon.
yeah.
it is an interesting concept to think that if you compare that people talk about how deep they get into a book and how excited they are to watch as the story unfolds for them, and that's kind of what we do with video games that have that storyline. We're waiting to see what's
Well,
going to happen,
it's
and
like with
we get to play through it.
well, and the cool thing is like Gears of War. When I first started playing it, you were like, "Man, you have to try this game." And I started on a save game that was halfway into it. And I thought, "Oh God, this is bullshit." And then I started a fresh game, and I got to start at the beginning, and then stuff started making sense, and the story kind of told everything out to where it became a real enjoyable game. By the time the second one come around, my wife come in the door with it. She's like, "Here, you got to play this because I got to see what happens next." She was
Well,
sitting
So
on the couch the whole time, actually absorbed in the story while I'm playing a game and going, wow, this is really fun to interact with and the story's great. But as just a watcher watching the game being played, and this is before Let's Plays were a thing, I'm noticing people going, wow, this is a really good story and doing
yeah,
this whole bit.
it's like it becomes a movie for the people who are watching over your shoulder.
Yeah, it's not as boring for them to watch you play as Pong was.
Well, I'll still
Right.
stand by it. Like the Last of Us, it is to me by far the best storyline I've ever played in a game, and Uncharted 4 is up there with it. But I mean, they are getting games are getting to the point where like, oh, I don't want to play this and get through this level so I can get through the game. Like I actually want to see what's happening. And I never played Life is Strange, but I'm always reading where people are saying like the storyline doesn't even matter that the gameplay isn't the greatest or whatever.
Yeah, I've
So
heard
it,
the
it
same thing.
it
And,
doesn't
and
have to be games that are just like Halo or Call of Duty where they're running gun shooting or anything like that to affect
that's
people.
that's something that kind of bothers me about some of these game mags picking on QuickTime events because, yeah, they're kind of a tired game mechanic, or maybe they're not the best game mechanic, but some games like Life is Strange, it's about exploration and the story unfolding, so you don't really need to box the guy or snipe somebody while you're jumping off a
Mhm.
building. So it's not necessary to have complicated mechanics. It just
Right.
needs to be something simple to look around and explore and find things and move the story forward.
James, which of those two games is the one where you had to try to save people?
Life is
Save as many
Strange.
people? No.
No, it wasn't.
It's one of the two you're talking about, where you had to try to see how many people you could save.
Last of Us.
The Last of Us?
No, Last
Or
of Us
was it?
wasn't really like
Or
that.
was it Until Dawn?
Until Dawn was like that.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
Because I actually watched you play it. That was just an absolute blast.
Yeah,
Hey,
but sometimes the characters would annoy me in the game, so I'm just like, oh, I can save this guy, but I just don't want to hear him anymore. So I would just let him die. And then you would always get a different style of ending. So
I'm curious. Is anybody excited for the new Friday the 13th game?
I am.
Mm,
When
I
I
mean,
saw when I
it's got
saw that, I
potential.
felt horrible because I was like, "Holy shit! I really want to play this game, and I want to play as Jason."
When he smashes the guy's head in the door, it was fantastic. If you guys hadn't seen that trailer, you need to look it up.
And
yeah.
it's
one I
not done by a
seen-
big studio, I don't believe. I think it's just done by. I know the guy Adam Sessler, the guy who used to be on G4 that would do that.
Yeah.
I know he's one of the backers in it, but
I think
I don't-
some of the original writers from the original movie are also involved too.
But yeah, I don't think it's a Sony game or a Activision or 2K or
Indie
anything
studio.
like that. Yeah.
Something that I thought was really cool was the guy was a one of the counselors, and he runs in the building, and then he goes through into the back door and locks it and opens a window. Then he comes back in and hides under the bed, and then all of a sudden the music changes because you can see Jason through the window. And then he comes around, kicks the door in, and starts looking around and goes back into the room. And the guy's laying under the bed the whole time doing this bit, looking around. And then all of a sudden you see the feet come back in, and they come over the bed, and it's like, bam, he steps down through the bed, kills the guy under the bed. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. That's like
Well,
all the elements of the movie.
one thing I liked about it was like in Outlast, you could hide under a bed, and it would always play like, oh, I can survive because of the stupid bad guy. But
Yeah.
Jason doesn't seem to be the stupid bad guy. If you hide somewhere that he's able to find you, like you're gonna get killed, and I think that's cool. Like you have to try to outsmart him.
Mm.
But I've never seen Jason climb a tree, so hopefully I can just climb a tree.
No, but I've seen him shoot a harpoon, so that may not be a good place.
Do guys think that a Twitch streamer, because we're talking about how we enjoy watching them, stuff, would actually make you end up purchasing a game?
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
I bought the
Yes.
Walking Dead Telltale series because I saw it like that. And
I
See, I
see
think
how
that's
it's
it's
playing.
almost like
great.
free advertising.
Oh, yeah.
I have
Yeah.
a hysterical story about that game though. Me and my daughter, my oldest daughter, and a couple of us were sitting down playing it, and we were going through it, and it's a really tragic story. We get up to the end of the game, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't played it, but literally everybody on the couch was like uncontrollably sobbing by the time the game was over. We were like, holy crap. I mean, it was brutal. It was an assault on all the emotional senses. Walking Dead. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone has picked up Firewatch on Steam, or it's also on PlayStation, but it kind of has a thing like that. It's a guy that his wife has a disease or whatever, and he's not fit to take care of her, so he pretty much takes this job as a park ranger, and his only interaction with anyone is the other lady on the walkie-talkie, pretty much saying, "Hey, we've heard that there's something going on in this part of the park. Go over there." And it kind of tells a story. So the game, for the most part, turns out that you don't care about the game towards the end. You care about the relationship that he's building with the lady on the other side of the walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
It's like that would be a great movie if they would make it, but
But Hollywood would never take that gamble, and a video game studio will. And
I mean,
that's kind of why I think games are kind of evolving to replace movies.
look, I don't think the Prince of Persia movie did very well.
But the games were dynamite.
Yeah, I know they're working on an Assassin's Creed movie right now, and they're working on a Watch Dogs movie. I'm not really sure how Watch Dogs. I mean, come on, just call it. Have
call-
everybody tune into Mr. Robot. That's what everyone wants to watch anyway.
Right.
Or call
right.
it the Matrix. It'd be about the same. Well, do you guys want to take a quick breather for a second and come back in about 10?
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let us do an intermission for a little bit so we can do potty breaks and whatnot. We'll be right back in about 10 minutes.
popular thing.
Imagine a snowboarding game that's on VR.
Yes, it'll happen. It'll happen.
Have any of you guys got a chance to use VR?
No, I haven't. I'm
Um,
sad.
the Best Buy down here and GameStop have the PlayStation VR. And you can go to and you can try it out.
I've been trying. I've been broke, but I've been trying to build a computer with my money, which I don't have yet. And what I'm imagining will be capable of VR. I would look forward to this one day. One day.
Let's say, look at it.
Well, that was the sole reason why I decided to go with the PlayStation VR over the Oculus. Basically because I don't want to have to worry about oh, is my PC fast enough? Am I going to have to update the video card? I don't think VR is going to be a fad. I think VR is going to be around forever. I think it's going to be a part of gaming, but I think that I don't want to get sucked into every year, every 2 years I have to drop another $300 or $400 into my PC just to play something in VR whenever it'll play normally just on a regular PC. So I'm really hoping the PlayStation VR works out. If not, I'll probably end up going with the Oculus. But it's something I think is going to be a game changer. It's going to be the way of gaming from now on.
I agree.
Yeah.
The VR could be so useful. I've heard talks about using VR to help people get over fears.
Yeah. Therapeutic applications, absolutely.
Have you guys seen the video on YouTube where they they put a kitten out on a little board that looks like a plank?
Yeah.
And you're like 50 stories up, and it is so scary looking. And what they do is they put the VR helmet on you, and then they stick you on a board that's laying on the ground. And you have to try to walk out and save the kitten, and it looks completely crazy. You guys can look at it. The people on there are so scared.
I was pretty worried that I was going to get motion sickness because you've heard some stories on certain ones, but no, it seemed fine. I knew my surroundings. It wasn't like, oh, I put this headset on and now I can't walk forward or anything to fall, or it didn't feel like that at all.
For you, it wouldn't be that. It'd been the drinking.
The worst part was every time I've tested it is like at Best Buy there's a line, there's probably a line right now to test it out, and it's like a 45-minute wait for some weird disgusting dudes who are just they properly clean it, which is cool. They Lysol it down and everything before the next person gets on there, but it's I don't know. I didn't get the sick feeling, but I did get the whole I don't think I could game for hours upon hours playing it. Maybe hour and a half tops at a time, but
that's always been kind of my point of view on it. That it's going to be something that's there. It's going to be something to accent certain game styles, but it's not going to be the replacement a lot of people are trying to coin it as. It's not going to make you throw away your TV or your monitor.
Well, I don't think anyone's really expecting it to take the place of a traditional display.
I went in thinking it was going to be first-person shooter X-Files episode. It wasn't. I wish it was, but yeah, it's great. I think everybody will like it. I really do. I think it's going to be a complete changer for everyone. I think the next gen consoles it'll come with it.
Or it'll have a packaged version. Absolutely. An Xbox One comes with a connector or doesn't. The next gen consoles will have a VR or it won't.
Now it's time to make Trace uncomfortable. Let's draw some attention to him. He's been quiet for far too long.
Hey, Trace.
Hey, guys.
Hey, throw some sense in there, man.
I just, I watched a little bit before I got on. You all were talking about why people game and stuff like that. I'm an accountant, and I look at computers all day, and I know when I was sick, there for a while, I couldn't get out and do anything physically, like play golf or anything, so I needed another release. And I got back into gaming then, and that's whenever, of course, my son's into it. He's actually into the retro stuff. He probably drool over James's thing there, collection. But it serves a purpose. When I'm dealing with salesmen all day and their budgets and different things like that, it feels good to come home and shoot somebody in the head. So it's
Virtually, rather than actually going back to the office,
Y'all are talking about VR, and I was
Batman.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, what the fuck? Okay, I'm interested now.
I give Trace a hard time over Batman, but to be honest, me and him had almost an hour-long conversation and rambling back and forth about the Flashpoint event that's going to take place on Flash and how they're supposed to introduce what we understand Superman on Supergirl and some other big characters like Batman and whatnot. And we went back and forth about that, so I'm just as bad as he is.
What's funny about Supergirl that they they offered that to WB first, and WB is like, that's not going to be a great show, and so CBS got it, and they obviously everybody loved it, and they just thought that was the greatest thing ever, and so then they went back to those people that created Supergirl and somehow snagged it away from CBS and put it on the WB next second season.
What shocked me was I was trying to catch up on the first season of it, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, here comes the Flash, and I was like, well, how's that gonna work? Because that's CBS and that's CW,
and they are not sister companies.
And then all of a sudden, the CW's got moving Supergirl to where they're shooting the Flash and Arrow and all that stuff, so that they can pass characters back and forth, which is brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's super cool too.
Yeah, I wish just Marvel and DC could change places. I'm so over just about everything with Marvel. I want DC to have the run that Marvel has, especially with the movies and stuff. And I think they have it. They have it with the TV shows, but I mean, not a lot of people like the new Batman versus Superman movie. I hope if they release a Justice League movie, or if it actually comes out, or the Suicide Squad that's coming out, hopefully it will. It'll be just as big as Guardians of the Galaxy or any of the Avengers movies.
Batman versus Superman hasn't done bad as far as like.
It hasn't done like Avenger money. It hasn't done.
No.
Yeah, I mean it's done.
They
well.
made their money back, but they wanted to be billions.
They wanted it to be the next Dark Knight. They wanted it to be.
They did a bunch of shake-up at DC Films. I think at Jeff Johns, I think if I'm saying it right, he took over. I mean, the more and more I've watched Batman versus Superman, I've started to like it. Of course, I love I love Ben Affleck as Batman. I think it's great.
I do too.
Worst part about it was the length. It was too long, but I enjoyed the movie.
The length didn't bother me. It felt disorganized. Like, they were so worried about Batman fighting Superman, they weren't telling a story that they needed to tell, which is the one we wanted to hear, which was the birth of the Justice League. There's no real reason for Batman to ever fight Superman under any condition.
I just wish that HBO would buy DC like Disney bought Marvel. Imagine what HBO could do with DC.
Oh man.
The Sopranos with the Flash and Batman, and that'd be messed up. And you'll have to pardon me eating pizza.
Who'd you say is Flash and Batman?
Excuse me?
Sorry, just trying to throw something extra.
Trace.
Sphincter says what?
Yeah.
You have to pardon me eating
Wonder
while
Woman
we're
Flash.
doing this, but I've been at work since like noon today, and I haven't had a bite to eat all day.
You're among friends here, man. Do what you will.
Take shots till you pass out.
Right. So, what other aspect of the media and its image of gamers we want to cover?
I'm ready to skip that. I'm ready to talk about E3.
E3, we'll just jump into that. Okay.
What impressed everybody the most?
State of Decay 2. I'm really pumped for that one.
It actually, when I saw that, I didn't know what it was. I never played the first one, but that game actually looks pretty cool. But
It's a
the
real heavy resource management kind of game, but it's first person, but it's a zombie apocalypse, but it's not run of the mill. It's weird. It's its own little animal.
Well, maybe one day when DayZ ever gets out of
Alpha.
standalone, or yeah, alpha, it might be the same type, but yeah, it's forever alpha.
Alpha 0009.4.
No, we're at 62 now. 60.
62.
I don't
Point
know.
six.
Um,
0.6. I
I
like
did
that.
hear that there was a tweet or a post or something that implied that Left 4 Dead 3 is being worked on.
You hear that every year.
yeah, so it's
Just like
Half-Life
Half-Life
3.
3. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have no idea if there's any truth to that because Valve has this thing with the number 3. It's like a brick wall.
Oh, that's true.
It is.
Mhm.
Sadly.
Can't count the 3.
I don't know. South Park's going to be great when it comes out.
Oh yeah, that looks hilarious.
I want that game so bad.
I pre-ordered it and I got the Stick of Truth. And I downloaded it the other night. I haven't really started getting into it, but I
Oh
enjoyed it
my
on
God.
360.
Let
But
me-
so Rick,
Clever
Dave
name.
Dave and I discussed, and I think we're going to go your route for Battlefield 1. I don't think we're going to get a console. I think we're going to get it on PC so we can play with everyone. But it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I think so.
First, I didn't realize that many people still play Battlefield 4. Like it's.
Oh yeah,
oh
yeah, I still play it.
I know
Once
quite
they
a few
finally
people.
fixed it.
What do you think, Brittany? You play the Battlefield genre?
Nope.
Okay, the
I do
new one's
not.
gonna be like World War One, so it's gonna be very interesting, like really old school guns and
Oh,
stuff.
World War One.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, nobody ever does. Everyone's so focused on World War Two. At least I felt like for the longest time, everyone's like World War Two, World War Two. Like, no,
Mhm.
like that gets boring. Everyone's so focused on it.
And the graphics are absolutely off the hook, just gorgeous graphics, but yet you're all the way back,
Well, I mean, if you
Yeah.
load
Barbaric
Battlefield
weaponry.
4 up and you have it maxed out, it still looks great. Like
It does, but this is like even next level.
Yeah.
we don't even know how good it looks because our graphics card isn't that good.
I don't have SLI, and I don't think any of us do.
I do.
So
You running
so what-
SOI?
Yeah. I'm running. I can't remember what those cards were I was given. Oh
Uh,
yeah.
5200s. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Running
like
2 of those.
GTX what? That's all I see.
GTX
Oh.
550 Ti. 1 gigabyte
550 will work.
DDR5.
So any excitement for Final Fantasy 15?
I am slightly excited, but I'm cautiously excited.
Me
If it were-
too.
If it were an
Yes.
online version,
I really liked Final Fantasy. Well, I guess I'm gonna go by the Japanese numberings, but 4, 5, and 6. And 7. I loved those 4 games so much.
Americans 3 was awesome.
8
That's
was
6.
okay. 9 was alright. 10, 11, you had to have a science degree to figure out how to level up. 12 got
That
even
is-
more
that is true.
ridiculous. When you got
11 was amazing.
when you have to spend a whole development team to come up with a level up tree, that's probably too much.
No way, man.
I mean, it's like, oh my god,
Play
guys, come
it's
on.
based off tactics.
Well,
Mm.
tactics were in Final Fantasy VII, but you didn't have to have
No,
an
they weren't.
astrophysics degree to figure it out.
What do you guys think about the Star Trek game?
Yes.
That looks super cool.
I can so see all of us playing that.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
That would be a great one to live stream.
Yep.
It'd be nice if
Douchebag.
all of us were streaming individually, but
Yes.
playing it together. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, everybody getting to see it from whatever point of view that you wanted to see it from.
Hmm.
I'm trying to remember what else was announced at E3.
I think my most interesting, and I don't know what all consoles gonna be on, is the Cuphead.
Yes.
Yes, that game looks fantastic.
Looks
So
so fun.
jealous I didn't make that.
And what's interesting is that they showed us a year ago at the E3. They showed us
Mm.
Cuphead. Now
Yeah.
it's a year later. It's still not out. I'm just like, come on, guys.
Oh.
I'm hoping it don't get caught in development hell.
But I don't want them to release it earlier than they should, so I'm okay with that.
There are so many people that bitch about games getting pulled back, and I think there was something on, wasn't the PlayStation had a game that was pushed back, or they kind of changed it from an announced date to not having a date or something like that. I don't give a shit if they do that. As long as they take their time, do it right, I'll spend my money.
Well, the best thing, I mean, PlayStation had a lot of, like, I've never played any of the God of War, but that God of War trailer looked phenomenal. It makes me want to maybe even pick up the series, but when the head guy of Sony came out and he stood there, and then you looked at his shadow, and his shadow was Crash Bandicoot, and he just
Yeah.
talked about, hey, we're remastering the Crash Bandicoot. He didn't say when it's coming out.
Right.
He gave you nothing. He just said, hey, we're gonna remake the first three Crash Bandicoots, and they're like, Sony wins, you know. But it's
So,
That kind of bothered me a little bit too. I noticed there was quite a few games that they presented that had no real definitive timeline for it. Like there was
I, I
no
just I just
date.
wanted some gameplay of Quake Champions, you know. They couldn't even give us gameplay.
Definitely. The Quake Champions looks awesome.
yeah, yeah. So, what did you all, sticking with Sony, so what did you all think about Kojima's announcement with Death Stranding and that crazy ass trailer?
Am I the only one that's sitting here going, I really don't want to play a game where I see Norman Reedus naked?
Well, first I was like, I'm like, is he,
I
you know,
know
in the
it sounds
Xbox, the
homophobic
black
as
stuff
hell,
in the
but
eyes?
I'm just like, why do I need to see his butt?
I don't know. It was just weird. Like, why did he have the babies? What's the black stuff? Like, how are
They
they gonna
Yeah.
put this together? Like,
Well,
this is too far above my head. I just thought it was just simple.
that's
Too
Kojima
too
magic,
meta.
though. He's stirring all these little things, and you're going, why the hell? What the fuck? Well, now I gotta
Well,
play it.
right. Well, you wouldn't expect anything less from him. You wouldn't
Right.
want anything less from him.
So true.
I'm so glad Konami cut him loose, because now we're gonna get to see what he's capable of. And the only thing that sucks is no more Castlevania unless you play slot machines.
What's that game?
Oh yes, I know.
I can't remember the name of it now. Continue.
Bloodstained.
Yes, thank you.
It looks brilliant, but it's not under Konami's name. It's the original developer of Symphony of the Night. So fuck you, I'm making a game anyway. Which is what the guy from Mega Man did. It was like, fuck you, I'm making a game anyway.
Oh, so what else?
What
Last
about
Guardian finally coming out.
No Man's Sky is not coming out anytime soon. It doesn't look.
I feel
Like it was
bad
delayed
for them
again.
because that's such a huge undertaking. That game's going to be so epically big. And it just seems like they've hit every hurdle they can jump. You know, that could come up bad for them. They'll get it sorted.
Looks like the Nintendo NX bombed at the E3.
I'm excited for that new Zelda game. I have to admit.
Oh, me too.
Zelda,
I need the Zelda game in my life
I
really
wish
badly.
I wish they would work with PC developers and they could put some of Nintendo stuff out on PC, kind of like what Xbox is doing. But
I'm just going to wait for the NX. Go ahead.
no, I was saying that they're going to stick with Nintendo. They're not going to.
Well, I expect that, yeah. But I
I'd
mean,
be okay with that if they had some other games on the platform.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, we'll see.
Oh.
I
How
like
about you
Especially
could
with the
stream
NX.
to your PC?
I like Mario as much as the rest of you, and I like Zelda as much as the rest of you. But 2 games and a platform for a whole generation cycle is not enough.
Don't worry, they'll put out Super Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. They'll get their quota.
Metroid,
Yeah.
Castlevania.
Hey, you're not
Well,
allowed.
look,
No one is allowed to say that the Wii U has
Mike
a Metroid
Tyson's
game
Punch
because
Out.
whatever that train wreck is not a fucking Metroid.
The last good Metroid game was Fusion. And it was
Yes,
hard.
Fusion.
So look, we're characterizing it right now based on what happened with the Wii and the Wii U. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt with the NX since they're trying to realign with the hardcore gaming fan base. So I'm going to reserve judgment, and I'm excited for that new Zelda
That'd be
game.
great.
We'll see. I mean, time will tell. I mean, we've been wrong about shit before.
Right, right.
I am the most excited out of anything at E3. I'm the most excited for Recore. That
That
game
game does
is
look pretty amazing, and you know
it's
the
really bizarre. It doesn't have enough information to. It's kind of
but
like what we talked about with the Kojima game. You're like, what the hell? Why? What?
but did you also look at the main character's a woman, right?
Yeah.
But you know the makers, the guys who made that new game are the people who made Metroid,
Yep.
the original Metroid, like the first
Interesting.
three Metroids or something.
Okay.
First
Yeah,
four.
the first four.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt in my mind that Recore, if it has that Samus Arias hero feel and all
Oh.
that stuff, it may be amazing.
The way I understand is there are 4 different distinct robot types, and you use those cores, and you can basically have them do things for you, like solve puzzles and platform with them. But there's like one of them that'll climb on walls, and you can grapple to it, and it'll help you get over a
Exactly.
hole and
Like
stuff.
yeah, like literally instead of Samus Arias having the different things that would allow her to shoot a bigger weapon or change into a ball or you know what I'm saying? Like they made it to where these little creatures, these robots or whatever, are gonna do those help her do those things as she goes along.
Yeah,
Looks really super cool.
and it looks visually pleasing too. The art style looks good.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a huge Metroid fan. After I played 3 on the Super NES, I was sold on that franchise permanently.
What game's that?
Metroid 3.
Oh Metroid, of course, yeah. Um
Did I tell you guys I
It's,
met David Hayter at MegaCon Orlando, the original Snake Metal Gear Solid?
oh,
Yeah.
nice.
The question is, did you get an autograph?
I did. It's on the program. I'm not sure where it's at, but there were people that were bringing original like the PlayStation Metal Gear games and stuff like that, and he was signing the back of the disc. So I'm like, you can never play this game again. Sign the cover.
Wouldn't it be nice to have an unopened copy with his signature on the front?
I watched an interview that he did, and he said that he never even got a call about. He was just waiting for the call for the next Metal Gear game, and next thing you know, they casted someone else for it, and he said that he would never work with them again.
I don't
Which
blame
is
him. I mean, he was iconic in that role, and for some reason they got a wild hair up their ass to use, what was it, Kiefer Sutherland?
now Philip Sacrimoni, or I don't know what the guy's name is.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's not David Hayter, so nobody cares.
Uh,
And I
hey, Watch
was.
Dogs.
What's
Watch
that?
E3.
Dogs.
Super
Watch Dogs.
excited. Super excited about it. I've already got it pre-ordered. I love the first one. I have it on Xbox One, on PC, and PlayStation 4. It's the only game of this generation of consoles that I can go back and play it at any time. Like it never gets old to me.
Not only that too, but like I thought that the Watch Dogs from the trailer I saw of the new one, I'm a huge Mirror's Edge fan, so it looked like it had the Mirror's Edge feel where you could jump, grab on ledges, roll, all kinds of parkour built in with grabbing your weapons and still killing and shooting people. It looked really cool.
It looks a little gimmicky to me. Like you can hack everything. Like
Yeah.
like it's one of those things where like okay, I can hack a car. That's cool, but
I've got one
it seems
for
like
Brittany.
it's too busy.
Do you play GTA 5 any?
No, I've only gotten to play a couple times.
I mean, it's I don't know.
Speaking of
It's
Watch
one of
Dogs
those
and open
games.
world games.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have. The family has an Xbox One. However, I moved away, and so because it is a family Xbox, I could not take it because the family actually uses it.
Xbox go home, right?
It's understandable.
Which it made me really sad because I got the newest Tomb Raider and I
Oh,
can't play it because
So great, so great.
I got to play like maybe 3 or 4 hours worth of it total so far.
Did
Yeah,
you guys
it's
Makes me really
hear that
sad.
they canceled Tomb Raider for the PlayStation 4?
yep.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Why?
I'm not sure,
Sorry, I
but
haven't heard this.
I
yeah,
just found
it
out
was,
yesterday, and
yeah,
I
it was a
think
week ago. I think they announced it, but yeah, there's a lot of PlayStation forums. People are not happy, and people aren't happy that the new Dead Rising game is going to be Xbox and PC first, and then PlayStation like a year later. But
Oh my
well,
god.
Xbox guys aren't happy that Call of Duty goes there first. I mean, that's just
no,
part of
I'm
the
not. I'm not
game.
happy with Street Fighter. Street Fighter's
Yeah, Street
exclusive.
Fighter 5. I mean, my God. I mean, it's totally a console type game. I have no idea why it's not. It's on PC only and no consoles.
Yeah. Oh no,
Really?
it's PC and PlayStation 4 because I have it
Oh,
on
PlayStation.
PlayStation 4, and it's
Oh,
also cross-platform. PC and
Eh.
PS4 people can play against each other on it.
Oh, okay, cool.
that's cool.
Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
the numbers that Capcom released for it are kind of really dismal.
Oh, they're horrible because the game was broken when they first put it out for
Yes,
the
it was.
PC. Very
Imagine
broken.
that.
It's par for the course these days.
Well, it's
This sounded overly broken.
well,
No more than
unfortunately.
Arkham City. Or
Well,
I can hear
Yes.
I can hear that board
Batman
meeting.
games.
We got the title screen done, and we're starting the code for the fighting. Well, go ahead and let her out, and we'll patch app.
yeah, it sucks. I'm sure developers want to take more time, but they have deadlines and they got to kick it out. So
Well,
it
that's
is
what
what it is.
happens
you need to
with a billion
balance
dollar industry.
deadline and ridiculously broken. I mean, Battlefield 4 should be a good lesson in that direction.
It's true.
Uh,
Silence.
I was just thinking about the classic example of Sonic Boom.
Sonic.
Did you see that? Oh my god.
What is it?
Sonic Boom. It came
Sonic-
out a couple years ago. It may be longer. But they had this like really, really tight deadline. And so they were like, we need to release it. So they released it. It is incredibly glitchy. It is horrible. Yes, look it up. Look it up.
Okay.
I
Okay.
may be able, actually I could find.
Now everybody's going to the keyboards. You can hear the clacking.
I don't think I've
Which
seen
Street
this
Fighter
before.
character was it that did the Sonic Boom? Was that E Honda?
Guile.
No,
Yeah.
it was Guile.
I don't remember.
You should know better.
This is a game called Sonic Boom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, game.
Oh, okay, here it is. Okay, Sonic Hedgehog game. Okay.
Have any of you guys seen the mod that just recently come out for Doom? The original '92 version of Doom that converts the game into a 3D Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, that sounds ridiculous.
What?
It's completely ridiculous, but it plays better than any of the Sega-made 3D Sonic the Hedgehog games.
Did you
Ouch.
see what patch came out for the new Doom this week? So in first-person shooters, how you carry the gun on the left. Well, the patch came out that it's just like the original Doom. The gun is
Oh.
now centered in the middle of the screen.
I'm still upset that game is focused solely, as far as its DLC is concerned, with multiplayer.
Yes.
Dude, the single player is like, I feel like it has tons and tons of replay value. It's great. Have you downloaded the demo yet?
No, not
Yes.
yet. I'm going to
Yes.
pick it up before the Steam Summer Sale goes off.
Well, you got a day.
Jason,
Yeah.
Jason brought over his laptop and we played it on the main TV in there, and me and Garrett were completely absorbed in that game. It was fantastic on a low-grade laptop. It was running beautifully on a 55-inch TV. Download the demo for the Xbox One, runs exactly the same. Looks really nice, runs really smooth even when the action's hot. And then I got to thinking, why are there all these game developers bitching for more horsepower? If they just write a better game, it would run better. Doom did it. Why can't they?
Is Doom its own engine, or is it using another engine?
It's
Yeah,
its own, I
Id
think.
Tech 5, I think.
Yeah.
Gary, you play League of Legends or any of those?
No, no. I still dabble with DC Universe.
So what else from E3 that we're
Wait a minute.
excited about?
I'm
Fago,
excited
your
for Dead
favorite
Rising
beverage.
4.
Pokemon
but-
Go!
What'd you say?
Pokemon, the new Pokemon.
No.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I hope they actually release it. I think it originally started out as a joke, but then everyone was like, yes. So they decided, yeah, we should develop this.
Right on.
But I heard at E3 they actually released some sort of vague release date, which is this year. Hopefully.
That sounds
Um,
quick.
Yeah. Well, in theory, they've been developing it for
A
I have
lot.
no idea how long. I don't know. It should be. I'm not really sure how much
Have they
effort
done
or
like
time.
a starter?
No.
What do you call it?
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter? Because you know that Mighty Number 9 did that originally. In case
Yeah.
you guys didn't know.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
that's where
Well,
I
if it's-
first heard about it.
Well, if they're carrying the Pokemon name, it's probably
It's probably an official thing.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
I believe they have a fair amount of money for Pokemon video games.
It'll sell.
I can remember when my daughter was first born, my oldest. My friend bought me a Game Boy Color and Pokemon Silver, and I would like sit there and feed her with the bottle on my chin and sit there and play Pokemon because that's about the only game you could play. It's kind of hard to play PlayStation that way. So I ended up actually kind of liking the game, and I kept going, well, I wonder if they're ever going to make an N64 version, because if they do, I'd buy it. But they never made a home console version of the game, it doesn't seem. It's always been on the handhelds, and it's
Yeah.
all right like that, but good God, I want a screen. I got a 55-inch screen. Let me see it on it.
I think they really need to put they need to use consoles more. Like it's always handheld stuff. It's always like
Well, you have to look at the market. I mean, overseas, handhelds are
that's true.
they're way more popular than having a console in your house. I mean, from what I've heard and what I've seen over in Japan,
They don't have
everyone has a
a
3DS. That's all that they have.
Yes, this is true.
It's very true.
I went to Japan and
Absolutely.
I saw like people whipping out their 3DSs to like take pictures.
I've never seen a 3DS
passive.
in public.
So many. It was glorious.
Even the XLs too.
I used to carry around my my 3DS all the time, but I kind of got tired of checking my street passes.
I think maybe that's where some of the Japanese companies are bumping up against the wall. It's like over in Japan, everything's more mobile oriented. Over here, yeah, you can kind of get away with mobile on some things, but generally, we want to use the big $1,000 TV in the living room.
Well, I think we're also I don't want to say they're maybe more outgoing, but they
Yes,
they
they
I,
are.
I feel as if they do more gaming they do more gaming on the go.
I agree. I couldn't agree with that more.
I think I agree with that.
And so the motion passes.
I can't think of anything else from can't think of anything else from E3 that we should be covering.
I think that we may have been a little more. I don't know. Personally, I think I was a little disappointed. I saw some cool things, but I didn't see like thousands of things.
It
And
wasn't like
technically,
last year.
like I'm looking at a whole list of wiki page of games that were talked about there, and I can't find anything to even discuss really.
I mean, for me, I'm
Back to
excited
Bubble.
about Dead Rising 4, but I'm a big fan of the series. That's a game that I can just
That's
come
got to be
home and
the
I don't.
best trailer ever.
The Christmas trailer that they had.
Yes, yes.
Well, to me, it's one of those things where I can play it and I don't have to have a purpose. I can just literally go and just mow down zombies and then be like, okay, I'm done with this. Um,
So true.
but
Stress release.
And
I'm
do it
excited
with
for
friends.
I'm excited for Forza Horizon 3. Um, I'm curious about the new Gran Turismo game. I'm kind of on the Forza bandwagon. It's going to be hard for me to even try to cut over to it, but I am glad that they are putting something out. Um, but yeah, I don't want to say E3 was disappointing, but I mean EA not being there, I don't know what the hell EA's thing was. No one really cares about a Madden esports tournament, and they tried to turn that into there's a select few gamers that that's what their focus is. But I mean, I don't consider, and I do a lot of sports gaming, but I don't consider it hardcore gaming. It's just sports.
When they're in an era where Dota 2's tournament on Twitch outperformed as far as like viewership, the last NFC AFC playoff viewership, they need to kind of go, okay, it's probably time to bury Madden.
Well, here's the thing. Forza 6, whenever they had the 24-hour Le Mans, there were more on their stream on Twitch. They said there is currently more people watching our stream than is actually watching the 24 hours of Le Mans on their
Yeah.
on their website. So
On
it's
the
like,
actual.
yeah, and it was gamers, and they were in the fire suits, and they had the steering wheel, and it was just they had commentators, and it was just like you're watching a real race, but it's Forza. So it was ridiculous, but more people that appealed to more people than the actual real race itself. So if it was raining there, the sun went out, they would adjust it in the game. So they tried to make it as lifelike as possible.
Pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Ooh. Sorry, I'm just looking over the list.
Mhm.
I was having trouble finding like an
A really
entire
good
list of everything. Darkest Dungeon looks really cool. And of course, I did hear about this one, Pokemon Sun and Moon. But
I'm curious
Pokemon
about
fan.
that one.
I guess I'm curious. You talk about Pokemon a lot. Do you have any cosplay outfits for that?
I do actually.
All right. Well, that's what we're talking about.
I just did
Fish, Day
a
one.
yes. I just did a pronunciation, Ginjinka Pokemon cosplay. So, if for those of you who may not be aware of what that means, Ginjinka is a humanized form of some character that is very much not a human. I recently went to Colossicon. That's where I did it. I have photos. Cough, cough. I may or may not be in a cosplay magazine in this. So they haven't published it yet. I'm still waiting on that. I'm also waiting on more like actual photos that I had done with that photographer. I have a few others, but they're kind of like they're all right. They're good.
He's probably sitting on them right now, going.
She'll never have them. Let's see. That's the only Pokemon I've done so far. I did Flareon, which you're free to hold on, I'll do it. I will show you a good picture of Flareon. Derp. Flareon.
I'm
Dave,
actually trying.
There you
What?
are.
since you were such a huge Smallville fan, did you check out any of the Supergirl at all yet?
I have watched the first 6 episodes, I think, of season 1. But I have not finished the season.
Okay, I won't say anything.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right.
Hold on.
Are you screen
My
sharing?
computer is slow.
I'm trying to find. I've got some recent pictures where I was Me and
By
my
the way,
wife.
Dave, before you jumped on, I was telling Rick about your costume that you ordered last night. Your game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Cosplay.
No. Oh crap. Uh. 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 Uh.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound promising.
Facebook won't give me a thing. I'm looking for a URL. It's like, no, you can't have it.
Facebook now owns it.
Oh no.
Screenshot, cut, crop.
I
What
might
about
do a
the-
screenshot. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, screen share. Can we screen share on Google Hangouts?
Oh wait, can you? Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
can.
Absolutely. Just your menu on the left. Just mouse over on the left.
Screen share. Google Hangouts would like to share your content of your screen. Choose what you like to share.
Just remember, we are showing this to the public.
Yeah,
That's true.
Okay, so
I don't think I have anything that's. Whatever.
I just
It's all incognito, so.
Voila! That's one of the photos that we had done. It is. This was done by. I think this was done by somebody who just kind of stopped us.
Dave.
Yikes. He's actually at the back door right now.
I also have that one. Do it. Which. I can't remember.
Where was this at?
This was at Colossicon, which is in Sandusky, Ohio.
Oh man, love Sandusky.
In case you don't know, Flareon is a fire Pokemon. So, yes, in theory, Flareon would not like the water.
Out of the whole gang here, I'm unfortunately probably one of the few that actually knew that.
I
Which
think
means-
that's all I have to show you. Oh no, I have to show
Oh.
you this. Hold on now. It's not me,
Right?
Super excited.
Uh-oh.
but you need to see this photo. Hold on now. This one. I found this group. It's glorious.
Oh, that is glorious.
oh my lord.
Did you get some names?
No, I didn't. I really wish I had.
Oh, no
I'm pretty
doubt.
sure they've been. I'm pretty sure other people have found them. I'm assuming it's the same people. I've seen a group of them, a group of people dressed like them, online already. So I don't actually know if it's them or if they're totally different people.
Mhm.
I don't know, but it's wonderful.
Right,
I really
yeah,
enjoyed that.
absolutely.
Hey guys, I hate to be the pointer out of bad news, but you do know we've been broadcasting for close to 2 hours.
No,
Right.
we took a 10-minute break.
We probably should wrap it up soon, I would imagine.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do if I'm going to do some gaming before I go to sleep. I just recently picked up The Forest. It's pretty good game. It's kind of weird,
Yeah.
but I'm digging it so far. It's pretty good.
I've been curious about it, but I haven't pulled the trigger on buying it yet.
Sitting here pondering if I want to dive into The Witcher. I really want to play that game, and I've been kind of watching it, and I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Talk about Witcher 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dig into it, man. You'll love it.
There you go.
There you
Who is
go.
that?
Here, let's bring this one up so everybody can see. Present to everyone.
That's when I was at the one in New Orleans. That's Jenna Coleman that used to be Doctor Who's sidekick.
Alice.
And then I was Scarecrow, and my wife is.
So, do you have shoes
Poison
on, or what
ivy.
are those? Are those taped up? What's on your feet there?
Well, the
Sandwich
Scarecrow.
bags full of
The,
Coke.
the Scarecrow wears bandages on his feet, so I took the white mesh stuff that you get for bandages, but I bought a pair of the toe shoes. So
Okay.
they're really thin shoes, and then I wrapped them up in the in that.
So when you were there, was anyone else Scarecrow? Did you run into any other
We
scarecrows?
we saw a different version than mine, but otherwise there pretty much wasn't anybody like that. There we are as Rapunzel and Flynn.
That's quite a head of hair you have there, Dave.
I know. I like that wig.
It's glorious.
Nice.
Uh,
Oh, my friends and I did a group of Sailor Disney princesses.
Oh God.
Mashing them up.
Yeah, I was wait, it's way too long. Sailor Princess Merida. We had, I forget how many of us we actually had. We started out with like 10 of us, and then by the time the convention rolled around, it was 4, I think. 4 of us actually went through of it, and one of us, she made her costume
Mhm.
and kind of didn't show up. So she was at the convention, but she, for whatever reason, didn't come hang out with us. So I don't know what the deal with that was.
Boo.
Boo!
By the way, I figured Gary liked this. He's a big Borderlands fan.
Oh
But
God, yeah.
This one was so well. I thought it was super cool. So that
I
girl
can't
was.
remember what the crazy guy's name is on the expansion pack, but that guy's hysterical.
There's a Pokemon butt behind there too. If you look back
I
background.
see that.
Oh, I collect them all. I see it.
There's
Hey.
indeed a very round Pokeball.
Ugh, gee.
I hate Borderlands.
And you got that.
Got me banned from Xbox. So I'll never give that series a chance. I left the copy disc in. And now Xbox banned me on that 360, so
Oh my,
it'd be the best series in the world. I'll never play it.
definitely.
Well,
All right, you guys can wrap it up if you want.
All right, let's thank everybody for watching and thank everybody for showing tonight. Well, when do you guys want? You want guys to do this next week?
If you want to set
That's
something up,
fine.
you had
That's
us
fine.
on Facebook.
Anything after 9 works for me.
All right.
Saturdays I'm usually pretty busy. I'm usually at the girlfriend, so in the evening it's better for me.
Rick, you?
Yeah, whatever. I should be available.
I mean, we
I got
communicate
nothing
on-
going on.
We
Easy now.
communicate pretty good on.
Hey,
on
by the way,
Facebook, so.
do any of you have the Logitech wireless headphones?
No.
No. I saw them. Best Buy had them for I think $65, and they looked really really cool. These are the ones I have now are some like old Razer ones I've had for a couple of years, but
I didn't actually know what mine were, but they're Turtle Beach.
Mine are plugged into my Xbox controller.
Gary, wait a
That
minute.
works.
How are you doing this? You streaming it through your computer?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
but I got the Xbox One Elite controller plugged in with USB and my headset's plugged into it.
Oh, very cool. I didn't realize you could do that.
I couldn't afford like a whole new headset and rig to set all the audio up, and I was like, hey, wait a minute. I wonder. And I plugged it in. I heard the speakers come on. I went, holy shit, I wonder if the mic works. And then so I did a couple of tests, and I was like, holy crap. Because the way I tested it was I started a party chat with mine and Dave's, my cousin, that'd be Dave's niece. And it worked. I was like on the PC version of the Xbox application talking to her while she was playing Minecraft on the X1. I was like, well, okay, this obviously works, so I rigged it up this way. I've done it that way since we started this. Cheap, efficient.
Life hacks.
I have a set of Sades. They're not wireless, but I think they may have a wireless variety. These actually work amazingly, and I think I bought them for maybe $25 on Amazon.
Yeah, 'cause I'm not all about dropping $100 on headphones.
Yeah,
I know some
no.
people
Not at
do,
all.
but-
The only downfall is I think Well, these came from China, so they took a little bit to get here. I actually, it came with a disc and instructions. It's all in Chinese,
Oh.
Nice.
but it works on my computer. So, and it was cheap.
when I got my phone, I was like, I'm going to buy the better little case for it. So I bought the one that everybody recommended. What I didn't read in the description was that it came from the Netherlands. So I had to wait like
Oh,
4 freaking weeks, and I had no case for my phone. I was like, oh my god.
paranoia.
I think
Yeah.
I've only got a couple of things from overseas, and strawberry Kit Kats off Amazon. Amazing.
Strawberry Kit Kat.
And I got a cable, a USB to Lightning, like an iPhone cable, but it's kind of altered. And that came in as a CD cleaner, is what was labeled on the package. But you get that a lot when you get stuff from overseas, I guess.
All right, well, let's wrap it up, Gary.
All right. Well, we're gonna end it for the evening. I appreciate it for everybody, you guys coming in and all that. And if you want to come back next week, just give us a yell and let us know, Brittany.
Hey, if we need any more people to come on, I might be able to convince some people. I don't know how many.
We're good. A lot of times, some of us can't make it, and we have different ones that rotate in and out at different times. It just whoever's available that weekend.
I was anticipating being at the girlfriend's longer, so I had the mount set up in my car, so I was fully prepared for the drive home stream. So
Yeah, because James sent me a message earlier. It said, "Yeah, I may be like starting the stream in the car."
I've got like 23 gigs of data, so let's just burn it away.
There's one of the previous episodes of this we've done where you can tell he's in the car because his camera's doing this the whole time. Well, I shall go ahead and stop this for the evening then, fellas.
All right.